Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Boom goes the dynamite, guys. XRP right now trading at 0.207 cents. I woke up this morning, checked out the chart, and just saw that thing of beauty. When you see these candlesticks rise like that, doesn't it just make you feel all warm and tingly inside? So this candlestick, obviously from an hour ago, or I don't know if that's so obvious, this is XRP on the hourly. This one from an hour ago, this one from right now, and we're seeing an XRP burst of green. Only a couple of hours ago, it was trading at about 1 cent below where it's trading now, so 7.197 cents. What's going on for BTC? Nothing really happening for BTC. So something interesting is going on with XRP at the moment. When we look at the S&P 500, let me put it on the daily here. That's the weekly. Let me put it on the daily. We are seeing some upward momentum for the S&P 500, although I do not believe that that has anything to do with the XRP pump. So let's keep an eye on XRP, see where it goes today. Some people were talking about XLM and how it has seen a significant bull rally over the last little while. Since the drop back from mid-March, there's looking to be some movement for XLM, and it's looking as though they are getting back to where their high was back before that crash in mid-February. So interesting things going on in the space right now, and not all coins behave the same way at the same time, which is slightly disconcerting, although that does mean something interesting. That does mean something is going on that is not linked to the broader market, to Bitcoin, for example. So we will keep an eye on XRP right now. Maybe it's just catching up to XLM. We will see. Hopefully we will see in the next few days get back to over 30 cents if it is indeed trying to play catch up with XLM. I wanted to mention this to you guys because I thought this was really kind of funny and quite opportunistic from this guy here who created a film about Monero. So Pro-Monero film briefly tops the US box office with a $3,430 gross. And that is the number one movie at the US box office, obviously because theaters are closed right now. And so when reading this article, this guy, essentially not even really a filmmaker, just some random dude here, decided to make a movie, a documentary on Monero, got it released. It's called Monero Means Money, and it grossed $3,430, although a lot of that had to go into paying the cinema. The movie was screened to empty seats in Los Angeles before moving to the Tampa theater and then a theater in Pittsburgh. As you guys know, I am a filmmaker. I am interested in this kind of stuff because I just recently did a short film and I'm submitting it to festivals, but we're in a really weird spot right now. Festivals aren't even looking like they are going to move ahead with their program, a lot of them. Some film festivals are moving online, while others are deciding to postpone because of the pandemic. So I'll link this in the description if you guys are interested. You can watch this movie here about Monero. Monero means money. So it's a documentary. You can pay here with your card or you can pay with crypto. If you want to watch it, there are a couple trailers down here, guys. I'll link these in the description for you if you are interested in that. Moving along, though, XRP liquidity across ODL platforms may close at a lower index for the first time in 2020. So we're always talking about how the liquidity has been increasing, and we were seeing a continuous increase throughout March, February, March. Well, since this became active, we saw a continual liquidity increase and then a drop off when the markets fell off. And then a steady incline in the latter half of March and most of April. And now we're seeing lower numbers. So could that be remittance payments just catching up with the rest of the world in terms of people have been working, have been sending money home, and now, what little work that there is left in the world may be drying up at this point. Maybe the people sending these remittance payments are no longer working now, or maybe they are still working but still need to make more money because their work has declined. Who knows what it could be? I don't think it's anything too detrimental. Interesting, though, to see that we can actually, plot this. We can chart this. We can see how many remittances are being sent and the volume, right? In the XRP PHP corridor, AUD corridor, and the MXN corridor, respectively. So, guys, I will link this in the description for those of you guys interested in that. And remember when I was talking about the best portfolios and how you will have the best portfolio if you either A, lose your keys, or if you are B, dead? Well, there's some speculation going around here with regards to this. Crypto whale controlling massive 525 million Bitcoin. Fortune attains new status as a long-term hodler. So this guy is holding 68,000 Bitcoin worth about $525 million and is now officially a long-term holder of the cryptocurrency Fortune. So according to Coinmetrics, the investor in question has not moved a single Bitcoin since April of 2015, suggesting he or she or they is in it for the long haul. So then this down here just describes how the network works and how they can trace that. Coinmetrics reports that the new whale status caused a noticeable shift in the research firm's active supply band behavior. A large Bitcoin whale just graduated to a 5-year hodler last week. 68,000 BTC moved out of the 5-year active supply band, indicating that the last time they moved on-chain was April 2015. So hodling for 5 years straight. In addition to simply holding on to BTC as a long-term investment, there's another factor that could explain why the whale's cryptocurrency has remained in place for so long. According to the blockchain data analysis firm Chainalysis, between 2.3 and 3.7 million BTC are likely lost forever, meaning that the owner has lost their private keys, requiring access, or they don't mention it here, or they could be dead, in which case they will not, if they were the only person who had access to their personal keys, that Bitcoin would indeed be lost forever. So 5 years, we saw a bull run in 2017 and none of it was moved. So interesting to see how much Bitcoin is actually locked up there, meaning that Bitcoin supply is actually probably way more scarce than even you and I can imagine. And guys, I don't really talk about Bitcoin too much depth on this channel. I am pro XRP essentially for the bigger picture. Bitcoin has its place, definitely. I don't like this idea of Bitcoin maximalists and XRP army people colliding and butting heads and all that crap. I think that is garbage. I think realistically there is room for XRP to be Bitcoin 2.0 in the real world with real world utility, and it will gain value that way. And I also do believe that you can have Bitcoin as that store of value. But when these Bitcoin maximalists seem to think that Bitcoin is going to be the future of payments, that is laughable. I do like Bitcoin, I do hold Bitcoin, but I also hold XRP, and that's the majority of my portfolio. So full disclosure there, just in case some of you guys, sometimes people get confused. Well, you talk about Bitcoin so much, but this is an XRP channel. What's going on, Working Money? I don't get you. Well, I'm trying to be as clear as possible. And I know some of you guys already know this, but sometimes I have to reiterate it for people who may be new to the channel or may not have caught a specific video that I mentioned that in previously. So just putting that out there. And so thinking about this Bitcoin mass fortune being locked on chain since April 2015 for 5 years straight. Is this guy dead? Is this guy just waiting for a massive explosion? Well, it got me thinking about this. This next tweet here is from C3 Nick on Twitter. The scalability issues surrounding Bitcoin BTC haven't been improved over the last few years. Nothing in terms of the technology has changed since the BTC network slowed down to a crawl and the average fee rose to $60 in late 2017. It can kill the next bull run for BTC easily. So he talks about this in a thread, and guys, I think this is important for everybody who is looking for that next bull run. We know the halving is happening very soon, and I know a lot of you guys are going to want to exit some of your position, whether it's XRP, BTC, whatever you hold, when we see a next bull rally. We're not all waiting for real world utility. I'm sure some of us are. I'm sure a lot of us are probably holding a big chunk of our XRP for that real world utility. But when we see this next bull run, this is going to be exciting. And here are some things you need to think about, some things to be prepared for when that happens. So he talks about the scalability issues. Let's continue here. People will realize when transferring Bitcoin that it simply does not work when it's actually being used. Average fees of $60 will completely disrupt trust. It is absolutely insane that this hasn't been addressed properly on the blockchain level. In fact, back in 2016, Coinbase CEO pointed out the fact that the Bitcoin core developers don't want it to scale. It will fail next time, nothing has changed, and it is being ignored by most. He goes on to say, and this isn't some maybe, it's a proven fact. The data is there. Next time it will happen again. Bitcoin will become unusable right in the middle of the next bull run. What will happen? I hope the market realizes then that there are better solutions that work. And then he puts in quotes, but the Lightning Network. That one has a whole new level of trust issues, and it is pretty much unusable at this point. It does not solve the issue. And so I just want to stop right there for a second and remind you guys about some of my previous videos when I mention articles that seem insignificant maybe at the time. XRP is being listed on this exchange. XRP is being listed on this exchange. It's small news, or at least it appears to be small news. Insignificant maybe to some, but this is important because when transferring your money on an exchange in the midst of a bull run, you need to have a cryptocurrency that is going to be fast, that is going to work so that you can cash out easily. Guys, if you weren't here for the bull run of 2017, I was trying to get money to and fro. I didn't know a lot about crypto, or I knew some about crypto. I didn't know nearly as much as I know now, of course. But, trying to get money places through Bitcoin was a nightmare. And this is exactly what C3 Nick is saying here. So he says, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase CEO in 2016, if you want to ensure Bitcoin's success, I encourage you to upgrade to Bitcoin Classic in the short term. But of course, this has been forgotten because people just want to get rich. Looking at issues is just a hassle, right? Continuing with the Brian Armstrong quote, they seem to have a strong belief that Bitcoin will not be able to scale long term, says Brian Armstrong in 2016. That narrative hasn't changed since then. So guys, nothing has really changed for Bitcoin. Remember this. Thanks so much, C3 Nick, for posting this to give us all a reminder that the issue persists and Bitcoin will eventually go up. There will be hangups on the network. When there's a lot of volume, it gets tricky, guys. And your exchange, and this is why I keep saying too, always have a second exchange on standby, or even a third, fourth, doesn't matter. Open up accounts to several trusted exchanges because your exchange might be tied up in the next bull run. This is why I have a Binance account as a second account as well. If you want to open one, I have a link in the description. You can use it if you want. You do not have to use it to open a Binance account. I love Binance for a whole bunch of reasons. That's my own personal opinion. But it might be that you aren't able to cash out, and so it's important to have measures in place to be sure you're ready during the next bull run because, guys, it is impending. We are going to see a movement soon. This from MacAttack XRP on Twitter. Ripple partner SBI to partner with SMFG for digital banking, guys. This from the Crypto Associate. So, according to Nikkei, Ripple partner SBI is to partner with SMFG for digital banking. Japan's second largest bank, Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group, will enter a partnership with Japan's prominent online broker, SBI. SMFG will acquire a 20% stake in SBI subsidiary, SBI Neo Mobile Securities, in June. Furthermore, SMFG will put in 100 billion yen, which is approximately $930 million, into the new SBI fund used to invest in financial technology. The investment fund will be used to invest in financial technology, including fintech and blockchain. Guys, we know Ripple's an SBI partner. SBI is actually one of the biggest financial interests in Ripple, the company. So SBI, Ripple's top remittance partner, accounting for the largest transaction volume on RippleNet. So they are their top remittance partner. SBI is also the largest money transfer provider in Japan, which is the largest economy after China. So guys, big news here. SBI to partner with SMFG. The web keeps spreading out further and further. XRP utility will be the standard one day. I can feel it coming. It seems like they're in all corners of the world trying to nail down every single partnership they can. We got this here from Crypto Wolf, XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. FinNexus will use XRP with fiat currencies to enhance usability of digital assets to tokenize cash flows in partnership with a lending platform that'll be released. So FinNexus partners with Bitrue to use Ripple's XRP. And they're a decentralized finance platform. So FinNexus announces a partnership with the cryptocurrency trading platform Bitrue to tokenize real-world assets using the XRP and on-chain platforms. Bitrue is a leading cryptocurrency exchange in Europe and Asia. The Ripple-friendly exchange already utilizes XRP as a base pair, which I was talking about earlier. More exchanges listing XRP as a base pair. The partnership between FinNexus and Bitrue will bolster XRP adoption. Why Ripple? FinNexus partners with Bitrue to use Ripple's XRP ledger and existing platforms. Here's a quote, guys. We could turn to a few networks to create a PCAP that could connect different digital technologies, including Ripple and XRP. So we will try to use Interledger to create a payment channel for FNX. We will also use XRP Ledger to issue tokenized assets that could be exchanged by stablecoins on XRP. And then we will make this function to be a part of assets producing protocol and assets trading protocol. So these guys really want to nail decentralized finance because FinNexus down here is a financial hub founded by on-chain, and their project is currently building a 3-layer protocol aiming to bridge the gap in decentralized finance. So they really do want to make sure Xrp, it sounds to me, XRP is being used for decentralized finance because it is such an efficient cryptocurrency. And guys, this news out just today, 3 hours ago for this article, and we saw this article here 8 hours ago. Let's see what's going on here. Mac attack XRP. So this is another piece of news here. Ripple partner Valente joins U.S. Faster Payments Council. So the Faster Payments Council, Valente Technologies joins the U.S. Faster Payments Council. Valente's role will be to help further and prevent issues that hinder the adoption for faster payments. Valente Technologies is a software technology company focusing on advancing payment technology. Valente is a big player in the payment processing industry, processing over 800 million transactions a day. Furthermore, Valente is a known Ripple partner. Guys, the growing web, using Ripple to facilitate global payments in an efficient manner. Valente joining the FPC is a boon for Ripple adoption on a global scale. The U.S., such an important part of this, and part of the U.S. Faster Payments Council, that is critical. So they're an organization that aims to create a world-class payment system. The industry-led organization features many industry leaders. We look forward to leveraging Valente's expertise in payment innovation and transformation across the bank spectrum. This from Reed Luton, the executive director of the Faster Payments Council. So Ripple in with governments, Ripple in with DeFi, Ripple in with banks, including SBI. They are really looking to permeate the world, and I hope that this just shows, and this is just a snapshot too, guys. This isn't even the whole picture. I don't know if you guys saw that Kevin Cage video a couple of days ago. Yeah, that big long one, the 40 whatever minute one. He talks about all those partnerships, basically all the news that we've gathered over the last 2 years. He kind of puts into one video to show you guys, to demonstrate all the partnerships and how complicatedly expansive this web is getting. I wanted to bring this next piece up for you guys here. Guys, this here from Matthew Liny. The question is this: how much will XRP be integrated into China's new global payment platform? We know China's on the leading edge of blockchain technology, and we know that the US probably doesn't want China to get ahead of them. There are a lot of issues there that I've discussed in former videos, but let's take a look at this for a second. So at Matthew Liny on Twitter posted this: Global China, so this is China's digital payment revolution, talking about how they've progressed over the years. So while America led the global revolution in payments half a century ago with magnetic striped credit cards and debit cards, China is leading the new revolution in digital payments. In the past decade, China has leapfrogged magnetic cards. So if you guys don't know, they don't use those in China. They never did, apparently. I've never been to China specifically. I've been to Asia, but never China. And apparently they've never used those cards. Instead, they moved to a system based on smartphones and QR codes as soon as those came out. But the changes from the system go far beyond just the new technological form. The Chinese payment system has done something far more revolutionary. It has largely disintermediated the banking system. So we continue here. Costs of the system, who pays what. So a central element of this system is that transactions between parties on the same platform are free. That is, the sending and receiving of funds occur without a charge by the platform. This is not the same as if transactions were costless. With all transactions, there is some cost, however small, in building, maintaining, and operating the platform, a non-zero cost in digital transfers, and some cost for an error resolution system. So this to me sounds like they could be implementing something like XRP to be doing this. We know transfers over the XRPL cost virtually nothing. So for companies or for governments or for whoever to swallow those sub-penny costs might make some sense in certain circumstances. Most of these costs are relatively fixed. That is, marginal transactions have very little cost, and the more transactions in a system, the lower the average cost per transaction. However, the costs of operating the system are run by the platform, and hence, from the user's perspective, both consumers and businesses can experience costless payments and instant settlement. I don't know if you saw it there. Instant settlement, guys. What does it mean? Reborn here retweets this out from December 2019. Think about it, guys. Think about it. China could be using XRP already. Say goodbye to banking as we know it. So China is poised to launch the first national digital currency. We heard about this back then. We've heard news updating us on what's happening with that. They're moving ahead with it. And how is this going to affect our economy? How is this going to affect everything? So this from Ripple's Twitter: welcomed China's central bank, industry, and academic leaders to Ripple headquarters to discuss the latest blockchain trends. Guys, this tweet from back in August 2017. So Ripple and China's central bank, obviously quite cozy, at least back in 2017. Now, it doesn't say that they're implementing anything, but they were indeed welcome to their headquarters. And of course, guys, Get ready for the Phoenix. Is there going to be a new world order? This is still on people's minds as well. We're experiencing a pandemic. This is a great opportunity for the governments of the world to change the system, to make seismic changes that have never been seen before in our lives. I know a lot of you guys know about this already, but for those of you guys who do not know about the Phoenix theory, just Google 1988 Economist Phoenix magazine, whatever, Rothschilds. I don't know. Put it in Google, you'll find it. You'll get an idea of what was being written in 1988, okay, more than 30 years ago. And this guy's finally, Jin's interviewed Chu Kang, the founding partner and chairman of BN Capital, who has worked for the Chinese UnionPay headquarters for near 10 years. American Express's request to conduct business in China and the possibility of using the Ripple blockchain system to carry out electronic payment transactions became the main topic of the interview. So this specifically had to do with American Express's request. This, I believe, is fairly old now. Nevertheless, it's all tied together, but using XRP, blockchain technology in China being that main theme. If we get the adoption, if we get the usage, a lot of money flows in and out of China, guys. Interesting concept to ponder. What else do we have? We have Cryptopolis, and so sometimes we have to step back and look at the bigger picture. He says XRP can increase the velocity of money, translating into greater economic activity. Guys, this is not a new document, but sometimes it's good to go back to basics. So macroeconomic benefits of real-time payments. A number of central banks, including some of these, have been exploring and advocating a move to real-time payment systems. Currently, the pace of this payment system acts like a bottleneck on economic activity. This is essentially a paper that he states down here. The document is available from various online download links. None are from Ripple itself. This is a document that indeed was entitled The Ripple Protocol, a deep dive for finance professionals, published in November 2014. So an interesting document here, guys. I will link it in the description. And it is interesting to go back to the beginning to see where this is all stemming from and to see where we've come since then. So I will link that in the description. Sometimes it is important to see where we've been and where we're going. He says here, now more than ever, the world needs XRP. And he tags Steven Mnuchin in this. So guys, it seems to me things are looking up. The crypto market has been lagging, but now we're seeing XRP price rise. This is XRP on the daily. And who knows if this is going to be a long-lasting pump or if we will actually see lower lows. We don't actually know. It's all about investor confidence. It's all about what Bitcoin is going to do. It's all about the broader markets also as a whole. We can only best guess. Anybody who tells you that they know for sure what is going to happen is lying to you. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. We can glean some information from technical analysis, but we also have to keep our ears open. Listen to what's going on in the world, what's going on in the news, what's going on in the market. What's going on with partnerships, of course, Ripple partnerships, that's a big one too. So guessing where price is going is a very, very tricky thing to do at the best of times. But I found this to be really, really interesting. Okay, this article is suggesting that we could see a $14 XRP in a fairly short time frame. So this article here is from NewsBTC, and they're suggesting that after 2 years of underperformance, XRP may be ready for a new uptrend. And so they give a bit of a description here, guys. I'll link the article in the description if you're interested. But this from BChain on Twitter, and he's looking at the fractal patterns. And if you look at XRP on a log scale, which I'm going to do for you guys here, on the log, and we'll put it on the, let's just put it on the weekly, to give you guys a sense of where we're going here. Actually, let me put it on XRP. We'll put it on the Poloniex exchange. We can get a lot. We can glean actually quite a bit of information from the Poloniex exchange. It has some of the most, it's some of the most detailed. It goes back, the history goes back for XRP further on this chart than on other charts. So here we have the XRP chart, and what he is suggesting is that these fractal patterns are looking to be similar. Okay, we're seeing a significant downtrend, or rather we did in 2015 to 2017, before an instantaneous pop. And guys, this was around the time, 2017, was after Bitcoin's halving in 2016. So we saw this as a reactionary measure to the Bitcoin price pop, or rather the Bitcoin rally at that time. And the timing is right. So we're in the same kind of time period. So could we see this fractal play out the same way? Now, I've done videos in the past with fractals and XRP. Let's trace it here. So essentially, he's showing, the same kind of pattern. We're seeing the uptick, a downtrend, and then that pop before we started basing, and then another pop. So what he is suggesting is we are going to see something similar to this, okay? Essentially bringing this fractal up to this area here, and I know I've done this before for you guys, and the timing is never going to be identical. If it were, we would have popped by now in terms of time frame. We should have popped by mid to late March, of course. Something completely different happened, and we saw a huge downturn. But guys, let's take into consideration the Bitcoin halving, and even if this got extended a little bit, even if I know this is not matching up, but just hear me out for a second. Even if this got extended a little bit, and the Bitcoin halving took place in and around May. Okay, let's say XRP popped at the end of 2020, and we saw this sharp increase over the next few months. Well, guys, this brings us in this level of supply, okay, anywhere between, let's put it here, anywhere between, they were saying $14, which would bring us to the top end nearly around here, but anywhere between $6.38 to roughly $15.23. So somewhere in and around here. So the $14 price point is what this article was saying. And, sometimes fractals will play out the same way as we've seen them in the past. That has happened with Bitcoin in the past. We can see the same types of patterns. Let me get rid of some of this junk on here to show you guys that we have seen the same types of patterns. And if you trace this fractal, it might be extended out a little just based on time frame, but essentially the trader psychology is the same. So there's that as one piece. But then I saw this theory on Twitter that really kind of blew my mind, bringing us to a 3-digit XRP. All right, guys, so this tweet here from Martin Volk on Twitter at MartinCPVolk, and he brings us this theory. So first of all, guys, he says this is not a prediction. This is just him riffing on numbers, seeing where we could potentially see XRP go. And think about this for a second. So Bitcoin is a product for the 15.6%, while XRP is a product for the 84.4%. This is my calculation. Bear with me, guys. He says people keep looking at the past to predict crypto's future. To me, this is nonsensical, as the past is based on retail volume and the future will be defined by institutional volume. So first of all, he is saying this is not based on any kind of speculative assessment of XRP. Like we did in the last exercise with the $14, those fractals are based just on spec, based on previous activity. He says, using the US as an example, if it's safe to assume that the world numbers are similar, and I don't know that, he says, personally, I think these numbers are conservative as regulations still vary in most countries. This is also very true, and make it difficult for people in certain countries to get into crypto. He goes on to say, guys, and I will link this tweet thread in the description. This is Martin Volk on Twitter. According to the United States Census Bureau, at the time of this writing, the U.S. population is about 329.5 million. According to the Pew Research data, 14% of American families are directly invested in individual stocks. Now, these numbers obviously came out probably before the huge sell-off back in mid-March. Nevertheless, he makes a point. So 14% of 329.5 million is about 46.1 million. According to Investopedia, in the US, institutional investors own about 80% of the market capitalization, which means that the investments from the 14% represent 20% of equity market capitalization. Sound theory. So, based on Finder's survey of 2,068 Americans, 36.5 million people in the United States own some form of crypto to date. So 36.5 million divided by 46,140,175 gives us roughly a 78% decrease. He goes on to say, meaning that if the percentages stay the same after institutional money has come into crypto, so he's assuming when institutional money comes in and assuming if these numbers stay the same, so big caveats here, retail investment will make up about 15.6% of the market compared to 84.4% from institutional investors. To link this back to the start of this, the past has been created by 15.6% of the people who will decide the future. Smart money is invested in what will suit the other 84.4% of the market. And so to cap this off, in my opinion, and this is where all the haters are going to get triggered, BTC is a product for the 15.6%, while XRP is a product for the 84.4%. I'm not saying that BTC will fail, but I believe that XRP's potential is so much bigger. So final comment, 100% divided by 15.6 equals 6.4. In 2018, XRP saw a 49,500% rally over the last 12 months. This is not a prediction, but it would not surprise me if we saw a 49,500% times 6.4, which would equal a 317,307.69% rally in the 12 months after institutional money enters the game. So whenever that is, whenever institutional money enters, it would be the 12 months after that, putting the price at $634.62 per XRP. So I wanted to thank Martin Volk so much here on Twitter. Thanks so much for putting your theory forward and having the courage to do so, because I know sometimes people will disagree. The haters will come out, and that's what the block button's for. But for those of you guys not following Martin, he's only got 51 followers. Follow the guy. Really interesting perspective. Again, thanks so much, Martin, for that. Do you guys think XRP could hit $634 12 months after we see institutional money pouring into the game? I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.